International Women's Day. March 8th is International Women's Day. It's a global day to recognize and celebrate women and girls' social, economic, cultural, and political achievements. It's also a time to highlight the progress made in advancing women's rights and the ongoing efforts needed to ensure their full participation in all aspects of society. International Women's Day has been observed since the early 1900s, a time of great expansion and turbulence in the industrialized world that saw booming population growth and the rise of radical ideologies. A woman named Clara Zetkin tabled the idea of an International Women's Day. She proposed that every year in every country there should be a celebration on the same day, Women's Day. The conference of over 100 women from 17 countries, representing unions, socialist parties, working women's clubs, and including the first 3 women elected to the Finnish parliament, greeted Zetkin's suggestion with unanimous approval, and thus International Women's Day was the result.
Hi, Seal.
Hi, Caitlin.
What actions can we take to ensure gender equality?
We can ensure gender equality by acknowledging gender inequality and taking the necessary steps to correct all our ignorances. We can also ensure gender equality by allowing women and gender-diverse people to have voices and take up space in all areas of society concerning them and decisions that will affect them. Hi, Miss Robbins. Is there a woman that you admire or has inspired you?
Absolutely. So a woman that I admire is Marsha P. Johnson. And for those of you who are unfamiliar, she is credited as the woman who started the Stonewall riots, which has led to huge wins for the LGBTQ plus community. She was an advocate for trans communities well before trans communities were safe spaces. And she is just a phenomenal woman that I think y'all should learn more about.
Hi, Scarlett.
Hi.
Why is International Women's Day important to you?
International Women's Day is important to me because I'm a big fan of politics and the things that have happened in our past. And as a woman, I know how far we've come in the political system from not being considered people and being able to vote to how we are now. So I think International Women's Day is just my way of understanding how the people of the past sacrificed for me to be able to have a say in my justice system in my country.
Hi, Ms. Caffel. Hi, Seal. What are actions that you think we can take to ensure gender equality?
I think we need to start by seeing people for who they are and the different skill sets and value that they bring to the table. And from there, stop limiting people, stop putting them in a box and assuming things of them, stereotyping them, just celebrating them for who and what they are and allowing for bigger spaces to be taken up by more diverse people and more diverse roles.
Hi, Abby. Hi, Seal. What is a woman in your life who you admire and who inspires you?
I would say a woman who inspires me is probably Rupi Kaur. She is a Canadian poet. She's from Montreal. She is of Indian descent, and she writes poetry about women's rights. She talks about bodily autonomy. She talks about a lot of things that pertain to women, and especially like self-love, which is something that throughout my life I've struggled with and I've learned to develop and grow as a woman. And I think it's super important for young women, and I love her books. I have all of them. I've read them, and they are very inspiring to me.
Hemsworth.
Hi. Why is International Women's Day important to you?
It's important to me because I think we have to honor and celebrate the accomplishments of women in our world, not just in our country, not just in our province, not just in our school, which we do, but in the world. And that's why International Women's Day is important. I remember just one story. I remember my grade 6 teacher was Mrs. O'Neill, and she empowered me to get involved with science. She allowed us to do experiments that engaged us, and she was a real female role model for me. I ended up getting a degree in biology, and I thank her for that. And that's just one example of a positive woman in a leadership role and how we can affect others positively. So happy International Women's Day.